Thank you very much. Torah anytime. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank the Rabbeinu Shalom himself. Yes, I want to thank the Eibishter. What an opportunity to thank the Eibishter. It's the privilege to be able to thank the Melech, Malchim, Lachem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's unbelievable. What a privilege to be able to sit here, to work on Emuna, Bטחון, to believe in the truth of all truths. What does it say? You go to, what do you go to shul for? To say there's an Eibishter. We are your nivras. Get the truth of all the truth. There's nothing like it. It's sweeter than delicious than anything. We are your brios. Nivroim. We're nothing but a nivrala. And you made us. Nirvoim. What a schus to be alive. What a schus not to be. To be a human. To be a yid. A yid. A yid. You know the Leshem told? The Leshem was a Malach Hashem Tzvakis. I heard this from the Mashkiach of Nothen. If he was sure he'd be a Yid, he'd be dancing in the streets. So push it through the doors, who we are. To be a Yid, such a bracha to be a Yid. B'nai Yisrael, what we're dealing with. Now, the big mistake of the universe is you don't chop who you really, really are. And the churban of the entire mankind is public enemy number one, Anova Psula. The worst churban in the universe, Anova Psula. Ashita, Ravoba, Makloktzach Ashita. It's basic that's lost. It's like you don't know Aleph Beis. And if you don't know Aleph Beis, it's over. You don't chop who you're dealing with. It's such a glick and such a bracha, such a simcha. Now, you have power. The power that an Adam has. It's mezazea. You're too busy to cover it as the churban messing up everybody. Well, he's bigger, I'm bigger, you're bigger. They like me, they like him. Up your whole life, then your head spinning with, I'm the good guy, he's the bad guy, he liked me, I said the wrong thing. You're losing track. You're losing the truth. You have power. I don't care who you are. You have power. You say one amen. You know you're rocking the universe. One bracha. Well, you know what's going on. It's padim. Every move you make. You're chelek elikam. You're part of him. You're almost the Eibush himself. You can't even say such a thing. That's a pasuk. You're almost the Eibush Alain. You know what that means? You know how much power the Eibush gave you? No. You're grateful that you're chelek elikam mal. What a bracha, what a simcha. Every move you make. Now I'm going to tell you something that I did. I pride myself with being a chelek elikam mal. I'm going bananas over there. I'm shikah from it. Chelek elikam mal mamish? Okay, Rav Abba once gave a shuz in this. Say goodbye to Kinna, to Kat, to Sinna. You're part of him. Who you worried about? Don't even look nowhere. You know you are forgiven. Well, in the rules of who's the good guy and the bad guy, I'm considered one of those or one of these. And that's your whole life. Most people are a little preoccupied with being the Nebuch. Even though the other guy thinks, no, I'm the Nebuch. Since when are you the Nebuch? I'm the Nebuch already. Whatever it is. Whatever you think you are. I'm going to tell you, not such a cotton. I'm not going to call myself a cotton so fast. I didn't graduate to that much. A cotton. Yeah, cotton. Ooh, not so fast. Let's get the basics. And you get basics, You're standing, then you could bend. You're not even standing up. You're in the garbage can. You stand, then it has a time when you bend. The zokif goes down. That's geschmack. But there's no zokif. There's nobody home. No chap. Now I'm going to tell you, it just happened last week. I got up. I said, Rabbeinu Shalom, do you know people call me up? All day long, they call me. Sometimes nobody calls me. Sometimes everybody calls me. It goes in shifts. They can call me 10 at a time. And then for an hour, I got a break. Nobody. Then another 15 at a time. By the way, of the 15, 7 are the same OCD guy. That's all, you know. Oh, that's you. My wife tells me, your phone never stops ringing. The same OCD guy there. Oh, that's you. Yeah, what else is new? You know, listen to what they do. They do like this. They call me up. There's a lot of complaints. Mendel, you don't answer the phone. We can't get through to you, Mendel. Come on. I'm calling and nothing happening. So I say like this. Okay. So I became much more careful I became much more careful. Gotta get a hold of people are calling you. Come on, menschlichkeit. Who knows what's going on? So I have a lot of cases. You don't have to believe everything I say, by the way. But there's a truth to what I'm saying. The guy calls me up. Mendel, it's an emergency. Get back to me real soon. It's mamish. It's and I come home after school, whatever, and I hear 4 such phone calls with the same message. The guy's chalishing. And I say, I never joined the Hatzalah. But they call me anyway. Don't ask. They're still calling me. As soon as they're about to say Vida, just today. Just before Vida, call Mendel. Before Vida, I call Mendel. Hello, Mendel. They just called me up just now. They got me to say Adarabah. Say it loud. We want to hit it Adarabah. Okay, I'll say it. And they were dealing with, whatever. They called me up. There was once a Rebbe, a son of a Rebbe, came to Lakewood, and he gave me a zog. He came from Williamsburg. His father specialized in Yish cases, beyond help. That was his specialty, dealing with that stuff. Something tells me I'm his malamakam. Seriously, there is these some people, that's my line. Come to me when it's all over, watch what happens. Anyway. Rather the Islam will see them say when all the doctors give up, then the Yeshua comes. Okay. Because then Teva is out of the picture. We got only the Abishah. Now we'll go moving. Now, whoever believes, they get it, Taka. That's the way it works. Now, so, after the guy called me 4 times, and he's going with sugar, I call him back. And called it out, no answer. Call him again, no answer. The guy's dying. I don't know what's going on with him. No answer. I call another time, no answer. I can't get this Pukach Nefesh guy. Anyway, the next day I'm on the phone with him. What happened with the Pukach Nefesh? Oh, that was nothing. It was nothing. Oh, that's so nice. You scared the daylights out of me. Anyway. But now I'm going to tell you a true story. I got a little bit... I really feel a lot of people weren't zeicha to get through to me. So I feel sorry for them. And I feel that I should do something for them. So what do? I says, Rabbeinu Shalom, do me a favor. Whoever gets near me, they don't have to talk to me. Give them a yeshua. You can do the job. I don't have to, even if I don't hear details, you know the details. You'll take care of the job for me. They're not going to reach me. Half the guys that call me never reach me. I'm making now, Abish, to do me a favor. Whoever calls me should have a Yeshua. Just by calling me, boom. I promise you. This happened last week, Wednesday, Thursday, I don't remember. Somebody called me up from Eretz Yisrael, an American. This person calls me up pretty much. Rabbi Mendel, I have corona. It's terrible. I'm weak. I can't move. And it's going on, and the fever, and the this. Anyway, I was concerned, and I called this person back a few days after they had called me. If I got to them, I says, "Oh, I heard you have corona." "Oh, I don't know what happened." I promise you it's a true story. One of my few true ones. It's a true story. They called me back.
You spoke to the first time, or you left a message?
They left me a message, like 2 days after. The mess 2-3 days afterwards, I called them. And I says, "How's it doing?" "Rabbi Mendel, you're not going to believe this. There's an American lives in Israel. They call me awful crush of a person." This is what they told me. They said, "I don't know what happened, but as soon as I left the message, a magic thing happened. I had a total recovery." You hear this? You hear this? Yechab? I did a job. It's a beauty, no? So Rabbi say, call. You don't have to, I don't have to click with you. Just call and watch the magic. I already asked for it. You should know years ago they used to, I once davened for my whole class, and things went good that year, except for one boy didn't go good. The end of the year, I was on the phone with his mother, and she corrected me. I didn't get her name right. You hear that? That was the one kid that didn't, that year. I think the mother had a funny name. I didn't get the name right, and now you know the problem, why it didn't work. Listen to this. That was those days, 30 years ago. Who remembers? Afterwards, when people call me, "Let me give you their name," I said, "Okay, let me I humor them. Oh, yeah. What's the name?" And I write down, "What's the name of it?" I don't need no names. Don't bother me with names. When somebody gets off, I promise you it works like a fiddle. I says, "Abishta, you know who called just now." You know who called? "Give me Yeshua." I promise you it works like, someone came to Rabbi Chaim. They came from a tiny shtetl. There were 10, 20 problematics that needed a Yeshua, and he came running to Rabbi Chaim. This one needs a shidduch, this one needs kids, this one blah, 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 blah. The whole bit. And he gives a tzedel, give her Rabbi Chaim. Rabbi Chaim went like this: "They'll be okay." That's all he did. "They'll be okay." He came home. Hey, he did a shidduch. Hey, he had a kid. Hey, is that something? Anyway, I have a smach. You don't have to do the exact. Now, somebody calls me up. Oh boy. Somebody calls me up. This is a winner. Guy calls me up. His daughter is going through Sheva Maduri Gehenim. She married a guy that's not shaykh. This guy is mamish, forget it. If I would tell you what she has to say about him, she really fell in. Chol HaDeis, Chol HaMafarshim, she got a case. And she was told by every godel in the universe, lady, out. She was told streng by people, what? You don't hold on for one day with that guy. He's dead. He's not worth a dime. And she gets messages all over. It's over. And she wants to hold on. So the guy comes over to me. What should I do with my daughter? And what's the matter? She can't have a kesher with him. He doesn't connect. And I want to connect. And she's she's a wonderful, wonderful tzadikis girl. And she wants to connect. Believe me, I felt like crying, It's such a rachmanis. And this guy's an iceberg. His mama's an iceberg. And she's going, and north and west, it's terrible. And she already got psukim from this one, from that one, out, get rid of this guy, it's over. You'll remarry, it's not lamaisi, you're wasting your time. Don't get near it. And she was taught in seminary. A husband is supposed to be able to talk with a wife and to treat his wife like a queen. She knows all that raid, and she wants all that stuff. So I says, okay, my friend, wait till you hear this one. Now, you can go to Kula Teda Kula, but you haven't visited Novhardok yet. Once you visit Novhardok, I don't care, you could go this guddle, that guddle, this tzaddik, this psychologist or shmologist. This is klar. Reb Gershon met Rav Shach, Zatzal. They were discussing the successes they had with their yeshivas. Reb Gershon said, I don't know how well your Elam is learning. I got one record. There's not one divorce in my place. That's my record. To me, that's Aleph. No divorces by me. It's not happening. Why not? Listen to this. Now we'll get to why don't they get divorced in the Novhardok. There are all kinds of shidduchim over there. Believe me. All kinds. I witnessed two of the biggest winners. This I will tell you. From the two, now many of them had beautiful, wonderful women. They're gewaldig. But punk the big ones, punk the biggest. If your wife's a mess, it might be a sign of your greatness, by the way. I promise you, punk the biggest of the big. Two of them. Shane, I'm not saying who. Their wives, forget it. They were both, the war killed them. They weren't normal. The war did the job. It's not their fault. It's not a chas v'sholom. But, living with them, let's see you do that one. To live with such a witch, you have to be made out of Novhardok material. To get along with this one, forget it. And they were the happiest people I ever met. You know that? All of them. They're crazy happy. How you do that with a lady like this? Now, I'll tell you how to do it. You ready? Here it goes. And the Novhardok doesn't get involved in, there's rules of marriage. They're not, so they might. I'm sure many of them had beautiful relationships and they knew the rules. How do you deal with your wife and your kids? And they went along with it. But by them, that's not the yikar. Yikar is your own shviras hamidas. You want to be a happy person? Bug off happy marriage, happy marriage, happy marriage. Listen to this. A friend of mine, Reb David Lenchitz Zatzal, he was in the hospital. And there was a man that the hospital bed next to him, a shegitz, and his family came. They were lovely. The warmth and the love that went on in that family wasn't stopped. They brought him gifts and they said, how are you, honey, darling, sweetie pie? And they loved him. The mother, the father, the wife, they ate him up. He was like, he had the real, what everyone's dreaming about. Well, he's sitting there, and suddenly they put a little too much butter on in his, I don't know what. Something went wrong in what they fed him. He exploded right there in front of the whole hospital. An atomic bomb went off. You thought the World War III. He went for sugar. He's screaming, get out of here! He was a maniac. I told myself, he's got such warmth and love. Look what he looks like with his warmth and his love. You don't work on your midas. Well, you're warmth, you're a nice lady, and I got what I need, and the lady she's a warm, loving husband. Listen, I'm not making away with it. It's great if you can get it. But what if you don't have it? Watch your own midas. You'll be a maniac if you don't work on your midas. This guy didn't learn Musa, obviously. He never picked up a Brazilian sha'urim. He's not into that sugya. That's klar. I mean, look at him. And is he happy? He's not happy. So, they're treating him with not negaya. And the Novhardok laugh at the world. They laugh at this stuff. But the seminary Morris said that your husband has to And this one, the Rashif said, your wife has to move, and then the husband, you're supposed to do like this. I want to tell you, Rabbi, if the rules work, go for it. Why not? How often doesn't it work? When does it? How many people it's working out? We're compatible. Anyway, a friend of mine, this is a true story. A friend of mine was not compatible. He really wasn't. I know his wife. She wasn't easy. All his friends looked at him like, uh-oh, he really got himself a pill. He's a sweet guy, this fellow. And his wife was not, uh-oh, here she goes again. And she was one of those, a halbe witch, a ganze witch, 2 witches, but that mahalach. She wasn't from these sweet, beloved wives who, whatever her husband says, she's running. No, he had no shaykhs with that. And all his life, he wanted, and he's such a warm guy, and he wants to love and shmov and puff and love each other. And the kids, he went berserk. Nebuch, poor guy. He went through Gehenna for years. He racked his brains. He got white way before his friends. He was like out of it. He never fell into and he tried. He went to Gedolim, but Gedolim, I don't want to say who, the biggest names in Klal Yisrael. And he was told by, I don't want to say, Bezal Loshen, you don't have an Azer. And people later told him that was a signal, it's time to leave. When he said kach v'kach, and this is like Ulam B'tumim talking, this wasn't Stama Yid. You don't have an Azer. That means it's not a marriage. That makes sense. He was told by another person who was not in the first person category, but in his day, he was, come on, from the biggest of the biggest of the big. He told him, Zal Loshen, I see a matzav. There are people who could live with such a wife, but you're not the type. No. You're not the type. You just don't, I know you. It's not happening. That's another guy told. His friends used to tell him, somebody once told him in a nice way, your wife really doesn't understand you. See, he got Alamilas. Then he comes to me. What do I do next? He goes to me. I laughed my head off. What do you care? She's nice. She's this. Bug off. How's your cast doing? Don't bother me what she's this, she's that. She fits. I fit. But it's not good for the kids. Yeah, the kids. Everyone's worried about the kids. They see incompatibility and she does different than you and she's not nice and she's in there. No cheshbonus. Where's Kas? Where is your Kas issue? I don't want to know anything else. But wait, before your wife came along, how did you get along with your brothers and sisters? Oh, you finally made up. But in younger years, now you became friends, and your parents and your chavrusas, you were such a malach Hashem Tzvokis over there. So now it's your wife, so you can blame it on her. Get out of the garbage. Your wife's great. Stay with her. Come to Rhein. The rub. Listen to this. I told the guy, giving you some good old Novandic prescription. But he said, no, but she's supposed to be like this. I know a younger man who went a lifetime of Gehenna because a wife that's not the way they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be, and he went in dizzy all his life. She was always doing the wrong moves. But this guy didn't come to me. This other guy came to me and I told him, Novandic bust. You want to be alive? You want to enjoy this world? Join Novandic, or else you want to go with the rest of the world? You want to see how many people are depressed and divorced and meshugav toit and unhappily married? They're all over the world. Who's happy? A Novandic is happy because he lives with the Torah. But the Torah says that a woman has to do this, and I haven't seen the Rambam said, We know the Rambam. We know that. Novandic lacht sich up. Novandic knows one thing. Ikke chiyas ha'adam shviras ha'midas. You came here to break your midas v'mlav lo malay chayim. What are your life? The guy said this. If not, say goodbye. You're not here. Go. It's not lamaisa. Anyway, he got involved in my way of thinking. He is one of the happiest, married. He has a beautiful family. Everything suddenly started turning around. He's just strictly midos. No kas. That was Aleph. Ayin Taiva, Dan Lekapschus, midas, get into it. Blame yourself for everything and anything. It's not going to kill you. I'm wrong, it's not her. I'm wrong, it's all me. That's my midas again. Oh, when she yells, she probably picked it up from me. It's all me. The guy is so happy. I mean, does he have a kesher with his wife? I don't think so. Does he need that stuff? Instead of his wife, he goes to his, he dreizach by much better, more qualified. I don't know, a Yidden is a nice person, by Yaakov girl, yes, they're big lumda, many of them. I'm afraid some of them know more than the husband, it's nice, but if you hang around with the Chashav Chavrusa who knows Shas and who hung around Reb Chaim Kanevsky all his life, something tells me you're going to get much more out of him than your wife. So this guy stayed over all his friends because he didn't have his wife to babble with all day and talk about what the weather is like. Relationship. Well, we need to have a relationship to show. Now, Rabbi say, listen to me. If you do have a, on the party, they used to tell people to do exactly that. Have a relationship. They did. Now, I'm talking the other way. I'm not against being normal. If it's normal, go for it and thank Hashem for it. I could talk with her. She's a pleasure. No, you have to understand. In my pharmacy, I give different drugs for different people. I don't want a guy who's having a nice relationship with his wife to even listen to me. Please turn me off until I'm up to the next subject. It's not for you.
Should we all leave?
But so if I say relationships. This guy has no chance with relationships. And the guy himself wasn't, the most, normal guy. I don't think he was either like such a catch in a marriage. He had his own, baggage. Who doesn't? And so, but the guy's the happiest guy you ever met. He was mevatel all the rules. Relationships, he has no relationship. He doesn't care. He couldn't care less. He loves his wife. He loves her. He had trouble with that. And I said, daven. He daven and mitamel, he loves her more. Daven. He loves her. She loves him. They have no shakas with each other. The kids are still looking at them. How did you two guys get together? This is one of the mice of the kids of Maifas Ben Oshamayim, my father, my mother. Oh. Rav Gershon made a shidduch like that. I heard it from the son. Rav Gershon's famous shidduch when there was no shidduch crisis in Novhardok. In Novhardok, no crisis for them. He lined up 100 of his bachrim who were suitable of age on one side of a giant room, 100 of the seminary girls. He said, okay, you! Take that one. You, this one, I promise you. I heard it from two. One Adriya, who was one of them. The other one was the son of one of those. And the son told me, I don't know how to get along. But Geshe laughed at the world. And there were no divorces because you can't do it, Geshe. Please, Rabbi say, don't get out of hand. I would say this in public. There were like 20 marriageable age young ladies sitting over there. It was a sheva bracha. It was pretty much, there wasn't much of a mechitza there either. It was like one of those. They asked me to speak. I spoke. I said this over. So, boy, I say the right thing. You should have seen. Right, there was one of these, an American, a very tired sweetie pie, I love him, a big bar Christian, you don't mess around with him. He's a tough, What did you just say now? He in front of everybody, he blasted me. So I turned around and says, what are you worried about? There's not one young lady here who's actually going to listen to this. It's just a cute story. You're getting so nervous. Don't worry so much. They're not going to do it. But I do want to tell you, I want to warn my Elam because people have come over to me when I've said things that are a little bit like, Hey, Chadeid, Rabbi Mendel, do you think I should do it? No! No, I didn't mean it. Please, you're not, maybe, No, it's not Biur. Okay, anyway. Oh, but it just shows you people live with so much pain because they have to go by the rules. I want you to tell me about the relationship between the Heilige Mama Rivka and the Heilige Tata Yitzchak. What do you think of that relationship? Do you know that? And the Tziv speaks about it. Some Soif also does, am I right? Tziv I saw Lahegya. He said they had a different relationship, Avraham and Sarah. She was not quite. She had to sneak around to get Yaakov the brothers. What's going on here? Where's the relationship? Like it says in Beis Yaakov, Yitzchak and Rivka, did they follow rules of, you have to talk it out with each other, that stuff? Did they do? They didn't. It's often a psukim. You gotta, there's a chazal psukim. Let's get Tati out of this. Hey! We passed this, the Mama Rivka. She was 3 when he was 40. And she wasn't, look what's going on here. And he says, Lahedya, it wasn't like Avraham and Sarah. It was different. You know why we had 3 of us? And 4 Imais? Each one was totally different than the other one. To teach everybody, if you don't fit into that, so try this. Maybe you're a Yitzchak. You have to be in Tefillah. You're not such a maspid in learning. Maybe you should do, they all lived in learning, but you're not, maybe you're an Avraham, maybe you're a Yaakov. There's different religions going on inside that's why we had 3 of us. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu said, if we can't stand on 3, how are we going to stand on 1 if you're going to make a new nation by the Ma'aseh Egel? So, you're going to make a new nation, right? With 3, it didn't stand. Well, 1 will say, what's the mile of 3 standing on 3? So I want to tiny. 3 means variations. You look up, there's different drachim. With 12 Shevatim is even better. 12 is different types. It's different. I am this type. My marriage, we're happily married. We barely say 2 words to each other. And we're very happy. You know Rabbi Yerucham? Did he ever say a word to his wife? Rabbi Yerucham Lubavitz. He met his wife once a year for a half an hour. Do you know that? Something like that. Check it out. It's not much different. I'm not off. Am I right or wrong? Once a year for half an hour. That's the relationship.
He only went home Pesach.
Only went home Pesach. Oh, maybe he was home for Pesach. Maybe. So now, there wasn't more than that. That's klar. That's a relationship, Down to the body, you want about his relationship with his wife. Forget it. There's different people, different. It's a world. Rabbi say, variety is the spice of life. I'm different. I'm me. Don't make me be like him. I am me. Don't tell me. I'll rebel if you tell me. I'll go against my Rabbeim if I have to. You know that? How did Yitzchak go against Avraham? He didn't have an open house. Well, it's not what it looks like. He was busy. I don't know what, but they say he wasn't like Avraham. It's close. The Mepharshim say it. And Yaakov was right there. Yaakov was the Litvak, who like the learning mitamo. How'd you get it? I'm just joking. I'm just saying. They're different. People are different. Everybody's different. Fight for you, for me. I'm different than you, Tati. I know you're a big tzaddik and I have a different approach. You don't have, now, at the same time, you must respect your father and don't play games. You go along. You have to play the cards. And they say in Novandik, Shvaris achavis ushmares yenoi. Break the barrel, and watch the wine. That's what they said in Novandik. Anyway, you have to know how to. These same people had the biggest erecheretz for their parents. It's not a steer, but I have to be me. Bug off. I have to be me. Don't. You know how many people this happened to? One of my Hasidim. They had a lot of trouble. His wife had ulcers because, and I said, what's bothering your wife? My wife is a very neat person. Oh, she's a neat person. Why is she so neat? The house has to be pa. Why is she so neat? Because her mother is a very neat person. And her mother lives upstairs. And that's great. Is that a great arrangement? To have your mother... What was that? I didn't like... Now, I caused that woman to rebel against her mother. Mentally. She's still nice to her, but mentally, Mama, you didn't get ulcers for being a neat lady, but you're different. That I'm not you, Mama, sweetie. I love you, mother. You're a great lady. You had the neatest house in the whole town, but I'm going to have the sloppiest house in the whole town. I don't want ulcers. The ulcers disappeared. Do you know that? Do you know that? They disappeared. I told them, tell your wife, take your pick. You want to be what you call kibberein, or you want ulcers? Take your pick. I mean, you want with the ulcers together? You can't do it. It's not for you. Bug off. I'm not made for Makias. My father has to finish Shas, Yom V'Layla, and I can't do it. I'm Ian. That's the way I am. I got to try to be my father. You want to get yourself migraine headaches for trying to be what you're not? I'm me. Don't bother me. I'm a chutzif. You have to have chutzpah yazge, says Reb Tzaddik. Don't. Now watch out. Do you know that these same people that don't do exactly what the parents want to, like the Shinova was very different from Chaim Tzanza. His brothers didn't like how different he was. Always different. The Adam and Slobodka was different than the Adam Kelm. The whole Kelm was against them. You know, he went through he wasn't easy with him. They once locked him out. He went again. And what was the biggest nachas that ever came out of Kelm? The Adam and Slobodka, of course. The one who went against the Adam and Kelm. Now we have, you know what Slobodka did for Klal Yisrael? That's Mlikuod. That's Chaim Malin. That's Darvadas. That's the Mir. All the Finkels are there. It's Adam and Slobodka. The one who went against the Adam and Kelm. How can you go against the Adam and Kelm? The biggest nachas the Adam and Kelm has in Gan Eden is that he produced Slobodka and Novherdik and tells whatever the offshoots. So they went against. So that's me. I gotta be me. Don't bother me. You want Havi Oz Kanomer. You have to be brazen like a leopard. You know, I never found this Yerushalmi. You can challenge me on it, but I heard it from the Mashgiach many times. Reb Nosson Zatzal, people quoted him. He told over the lion and the leopard get together, and guess who wins? The leopard wins. Now the lion is stronger. The lion has strong bones. The leopard is a mix. He's a lion and a tiger. He's a mamza. That's why he's an Azaz Ponim. A mamza has nasty midos. So the leopard is a mamza. And he's a nasty, wicked mamza. And when the lion starts up with him, he is such a mamza that even though he's weaker, you don't care. Hey! Don't mess with me. The lion, the king! Sees the leopard, he runs away. Mashgiach used to say this so. It's supposed to be Yerushalmi. I don't know. I never saw it, but it doesn't matter. He's not qualified. And he goes around like he owns the world. And he's a mechutzif. A mamza. Now, Rabbi Yehuda ben Tema Oimer. There's a chazal of all chazals. The Tur Shulchan Aruch and the Rav Shulchan Aruch starts off Rabbi Yehuda ben Tema Oimer. Avi Oz Kan Omer. Be that nasty mamza leopard. That's Aleph. Not like the Machaba that the Shulchan Aruch says, Shvisi Hashem. The start of the whole Shulchan Aruch is be a nasty bum. So, I have to know how to deal with that. Rabbi Sai. I'm speaking to Chashav people, but I would never talk like this to people who I was afraid they would take me up on it. We realize we're dealing with Adela people. But step one, in the Vardik they held Amitzus is Aleph. In the Vardik number one, Pratim. Like my boys, you know what they do in my shul? They're all speaking all the time. I speak my head off 3 times over the Shabbos. Then my chevra, right? You speak it. Everybody has to speak. We spoke. Everybody got to speak. And they putting out contrason, come on, get out there. Be an Oz Kanomer. Be a Mechutzav. He's a great speaker over there. Rabbi Sporn, one of our illustrious speakers. We got great Rabbi Udman. We have great people over here. They speak. We have Rabbi Hirschberg. These are top people. All the people are my shtibel. Rabbi Medina, for the great people, he put out, don't ask what he put out, you should get it. He put out Ketzeis Hashemish B'Burasai. The whole land was raving. You weren't there. They're raving over your stuff. By the way, speaking of raving, someone was here on Thursday. He came here to see me. His name is, he is helping my stuff. His name is Jacob Nussenzweig. He's a Chassidische, wonderful, wonderful person. He came together with Reb Yosef, David Osh. They're helping me. I never even met them. Listen, Rabbi Shai, I go straight. I have one friend in Shemayim. I have the whole world pocket. I try to. It's not easy. Don't worry. I'm plenty worried about my code. Plenty. No, I'm not. No more about Lashon Hara, about myself. I pack the world. Yes. I'm a high madrega. Never put yourself down. I'm telling you, seriously. Don't say a negative thing about yourself. Ever! Don't start that another. Lanias daiti. You know, Reb Baruch Matcha Ezrachi came in Rav Shach Shloshim. And he spoke in Beis Fega, and he said, why didn't Rav Shach ever say Lanias daiti? That's what he said. He said, La daiti. He didn't go for that stuff. He said, why do people say Lanias daiti? Either because it's never, that's the matzah, is his Anias das. Unfortunately, that's what the matzah is. He does that too smart, the poor guy. The pshat is, he wants people should hear the way he says Lanias daiti. He said this. It was great. I was on the floor. I go for that. Don't put yourself down ever. We're not at that madriga yet. Wait till we get there. You may have to wait for the next Gilgal. So you get the madriga to be able to say Lanias daiti. I don't think it's for the door. I'm sorry. I'll challenge all the Lanias daiti. Oh, it looks nice. Okay. Looks nice. So you're looking for covet again. But it's normal. Oh, it's normal. Okay. It's normal. Okay. If I can't, why not? Anyway, so this person, he put out a Sefer Heichel Aschus on Dan L'Kafschus. Beautiful in the belt. What a beautiful job he did. Anyway, so I have one friend in Shemayim. I try. I don't know but I try very hard to say, Hashem, I'd rather talk to you than to people. Even though I'm a social type and I love company and Sachen, I'm that type. And Novandik encouraged that. And I was, Reb Nosson, that school also pushed, you gotta mix it. Don't be in the corner, mix with everybody and socialize and do things for other people, be together. More ben Abrius, okay. But I still want very, very much to feel like the Alpha from Novandik says, to go to the Shadish. From all Atzlachas is the Eibishter himself. You can't open your mouth without him, you Meshugana. You can't talk, you can't see, you can't hear. He's everything in your life. And the people around you are wonderful, but they're not him. Don't confuse them. They have no shaykhs with the Eibishter. They're nice, they're great, they're Tzelem Alikim, they're Tzadikim. It's not Negeya, they're Nivra. They're not the Boide himself is everything. Everything else is baloney. I don't care who he is. Shas, Paiskim, this, boom, boom. Compared to the Eibishter, he's just a Nivra. I like that. That's Aleph by me. I want to make the Eibishter Rabbi Milam his chassid because they found him at a chassid and instead of socializing, he was busy talking to the Eibishter. Chapash moves with him. This finger, you ever say thank you for that finger? It's overdue. How about this one? Say thank you. Fingers, they're working. It's great. Why can't people give 5 minutes a day to say thank you for my nose, for my ears, for my eyes? Come on, it's not important. It's not important. Because the Birkas should be real. I insist on saying it over in English. I relate. I feel like, now I'm appreciating. But it's fine. Yeah, some people, everybody's different. Anyway, they asked me about Corona, and I told them, you wanted me to get involved when things are wrong. Did I thank Hashem enough for all these healthy stomachs in the room? Did I say thank you? You go, never so many people getting never Corona. Whoa, stop. Look how many healthy eyes are all over the place. Look how many noses and ears and teeth and such delicious food they're able to chomp and enjoy. And so much delicious bled the Gemara there's to learn. Come on. Let's do things. But you got to be realistic. You got to be truth. Yeah, Mendel, you're living in La La Land. You're flying up in the air. You're one of those Musanikas. Wait. Who's in La La Land, me or you? You don't acknowledge the basics. All you know about is Corona. It's a bad thing. And do you know what they just said? Trump said, and Biden, this one said. That's your whole life. What this bad thing and that bad thing and the Arabs. What you talk about all the Torah. There's so much service in the world. So much service. You don't have kaiches to say, "Hoy," without the Abish to help you. Say thank you for that. Wait, stop. Did you ever say, no, it's not important? Wait a minute. How about this tooth and that tooth? Come on, one by one. What do they call the molars and the this? How about saying thank you? You can chew. And the saliva and the taste. You know, said thank you for the beautiful color of tomatoes and the beautiful color of grapes and fruits and bananas and vegetables and kiwis. Following! I go sugar when I see food. Go to the supermarket, look at the colors and the different tastes. Shem, you are so great. I say the foods are a little tiny message of Gan Eden. See what I can do. You see the beauty of this world. Look at those trees. Come on. You gotta be nuts not to notice this. Listen to that wind blowing. Take a deep breath with that oxygen. And you have lungs that are working. Both lungs are working. You want to hear some stories? They call me all day and all night. You want to hear some nasty stories? This guy is missing this, missing that. That's machla, the next machla, this one, this. All day long, they call me up. They call the Baal Meifas Hadar. Expecting. They call me just before Vida. They call me up. Get Mendel, he'll fix it. I'm the big Baal Meifas over here. Anyway, on my side, we have so much to be thankful for. So much to be thankful for. Don't get caught. But I missed davening yesterday. I davened like a shtuk. My learning was, bug off! You're losing track with the general picture. You're alive. I'll call Neshima Talal Ka. Do you ever say thank you for the Akol Neshima? Rabbi Isaac Sher said, God's Halal. Rabbi Miller quoted his Heilige Rebbe, Rabbi Isaac. The ultimate Slobodka's son-in-law. There was no one like him. Heilige Rabbi Isaac Sher. By the way, his last years he spent learning Mussar all day, by the way. Just in case, that's what they say. Chumash, Mussar, he was, okay. Just in case people are different. Maybe it's for some people, not fair, watch out. But he was unique, he did what he had to do. Rabbi Isaac Sher. The whole howl for every breath. Come on. It's not interesting. Oh, Mandel's starting to get boring now. He's boring. Oh, you're talking about, Rabbi Miller says, no. Yeah, no, Rabbi Miller says, yeah. Oh, that's Rabbi Miller. Trees and the leaves and that's like, okay. Okay, let's say something interesting. This guy got killed. He was in a car accident. He went flying 1,000. No, this guy's interesting. This guy, let's tune in on him. He's Geshmak. Mandel's boring. All he talks about is, I would talk about Jack. That's one thing. Jack isn't interesting. David created schnapps to make people happy. It's nothing but you. I get your Shemaim through Jack. I see David can make a delicious drink that makes people happy. Drink a l'chaim. Two yin get together. You know what l'chaim could do? I want the Gula Shleimek. Everybody join me. And all the people that call me lately had some tough ones. And I'm not spoiled. I really want them 100% back to normal. I'm not sure what it is. Hako Yachal. I'm an action. I want everyone back to normal. I don't care how crazy the matzav is. And your oilam, this time I'll give you credit. When I get the reports, the biggest matzav happened. Okay. It was you. It was the l'chaim. We get together. Chaim tevel shalom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shahakel midbarei. The hayim. Ah! It's great. Chaim, pleasure to see Rabbi Wellman. You find me a rabbi. We don't find a man like Reb Pinchas. We are the sweetest guys around. I saw you say the Shaga Feivel. There is Vavadai. There you go. Come here, take some Shirayim from the Rebbe. By the way, the reason why I decided a long time ago, Rebbe. When people say, does the Rav, don't give me Rav business. You can be the Rav and Paskin the Shilas. I'm the Rebbe who gets the money. The Violet, they all kiss me over here. Here I get nothing. Here they kiss me. But the Rebbe is supposed to get the money. If anybody, you know what happened last week? I was in action. I had a whole week. I needed 1,000, 2,000. I needed money. No money's not coming. And I says, Eibishter, I'm going to be in action. And I saw somebody who's masugul to give. No. Eibishter, you give me. I'm not going to him, but to him, I'm not locking on doors crazy. And I did the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and every day. It didn't work. And I thought, Hashem, can't you? Somebody gave me, it was 100. I need money. Eibishter, why don't you? Eibishter, I'm giving up. This happens all the time. It happens all the time. Our mamish felt, and the guy's waiting. How can I keep him waiting? He needs his money. He's not coming. Finally, Thursday, I'm sitting here. Suddenly, a guy gives me an $800 check. Hey, I didn't expect a bachal. I wasn't making an appeal, nothing. I didn't ask. Like I said, Eibishter, I'm not asking. I want it with all the money without asking. So I get 800 from the guy. And then a few minutes later, somebody decides to clean up my place. As he's cleaning up, what's this? $1,000 check that I lost. It's another 1,000. Then another $450 check. Then a guy, I had a mifus with his kid, gave me another $300 and another something. I walked into, my wife says, somebody left me another 300. Kitza. And pumped last week, I had two people. One of his names is Yosef David Osh, Tzadik Ingaman, and the other one is the one who wrote this Heichel Eschus, Kapschus. I recommend you should get it. It's Gewaltig in the Welt. He put a work. These are B'nai Torah, B'nai Torah, the sweetest around. Anyway, he wrote me a nice Megillah too. I'll tell you the truth. When he was there, all I looked at is how much. What did I gain? Tzadik. He wrote, no, but that's all I looked at. Gain Sadik. Okay, that's it. Okay, the rest okay. So that's not good. What else? What do you write? What do you write about me? That's all. No, you could have written Butzina Kadisha. What's wrong with? I'm joking. Some guys take me serious. They take me serious. Yes, no, yes. Oh. Butzina Kadisha. They take me serious. You have to watch what you say. Nowadays, people think. That's me mistake. You should know I go into Torah treasures. I go in there. There's millions of pictures all over the place. I never saw a place packed. Everyone's in there. All the Gedalim, all over the place. Every time I walk in there, there's a Kalina Chassid who works over there. He's my friend. He's my type. I tell him, hey! I make sure to say it. The whole place should hear me. It's a big place. Everybody's shopping. Long line of people standing to get their stuff by the cashier. And I give it, hey, where's my picture? I'm trying to be funny. And the guy says, he always has to say, there's a backup for that. And the funny thing is, it's the same thing. I make the same joke and he gives the same answer. And the Viola, you have to see this. There's a long line of people standing, holding their books. I figured I want to be funny. I want to cheer up the Elam a little bit, so I have a big mouth. Use it. Do something good with your big mouth. Make people happy. So I explain, I open up and boom. Where's my picture? And I'm looking at the people saying that. They're all looking. Now one smile out of anybody is a lie as long as the gull is. Nobody. Don't look at me. Everybody's looking. That's serious. What do you do with serious people? That's serious. You're serious. You're buying a book. This guy's my only friend, this Stolen Chassid. We're rolling together, laughing the same silly joke, having the whole jokes. You don't know how many, lately it's terrible. I get on the phone, people call me up. They come, this is a Mandel? Is this a Mandel for Lakewood? I say, yeah, this is a Rabbi going outside. Oh, Entschuldig, ja, wie, going outside, ja, Entschuldig. Well, today, they don't have jokes. I saw somebody made one of the most famous letzim in the world was trying to make a joke in front of Chaim Kanevsky. I saw this. It's in, and he was telling them a joke. Chaim was sitting there. He didn't have the joke. So he bends down to get it. Two guys were standing there. They bent down and repeated the joke. You want to kill it? Repeat it. You want to really kill it? Repeat it. Repeat it again and again. Reb Chaim didn't laugh. You understand what we're trying to say? Reb Chaim didn't laugh. Chaim has a sense of humor, but you have to know one thing. If your joke didn't work, get out when the going's good. Don't repeat it. You really, if you want to have B'zionis, go. They had that kapara, that's for sure. Ain't it right? But they get them. They tell you if you're not good at humor, don't risk it. If you're a public speaker, if you're not good at jokes, you try to make one, and you try to be funny, and you're looking at everybody, they're waiting for the smiles. They're all looking at you. What you're talking about? It's not advisable. You get so embarrassed. You want good B'zionis, try to make a joke and it shouldn't work. Anyway, you want to hear some more of my Rabbi Shai? I'm so thankful to the Eibush. That's such a beautiful Eilam. The Eibush should help you. You should be Zercha Gula Shalema, Bekol Mamish. Shataya Avot, Ashnel Avot. Wow. Let's get Avot. What's going on in the Parsha is not normal. First of all, I want to tell you something. Vaya menucha kitay. Yisachar saw menucha and he said it's good. And he became a Ben Torah. You see from there that to be a Ben Torah, you have to appreciate first. Appreciate it. You don't just become a Ben Torah. It's a blessing. He had to see menucha and first the taich of Torah means menucha. The guy who sits on there, menucha kitay. It says, v'harevno. In the pasuk, in the Birkas HaTorah, it says, make it sweet. So you see, Torah needs chizuk. You have to always hold this is good. I see it's great stuff. Before you learn, then you learn. It's a different learning. You got 1,000 times more stars. So you have to, learning needs, that's my one ha'ara. And another ha'ara. It says, smach zvulun b'tzeisacha v'yisach ba'olecha. What if you're not a Ben Torah, you're zvulun? Be happy, Zvulun. So you're not the Ben Torah, but you're Zvulun. Smach, it's a pasuk. You be happy, Zvulun, but say with your business. You be happy. If you're somebody to bug off, that's me. Smach, Zvulun. Be happy, Zvulun. Don't go around your whole life like I should have been him and the bug off. I'm Zvulun. Leave me alone. Be a Yisachar ba'alecha, and Yisachar don't go around your whole life wishing you were Zvulun. Smach, Zvulun. Be happy with what you got. Every person be happy with what you are. It's a stock of art. That's the next week's B'tachon weekly. That wasn't that. I'll tell you one more part. It says, Dun Shvifain is a snake. They all say it's an extremely skinny snake. And it's deadly poison could wipe out thousands like this. And that's, Dun is compared to that snake. Says that it's it. Dun was not such, that Shevet was not such big B'nai, not so many B'nai Torah. Yehuda was, when they went to war, they won with the power of learning Torah. Zvulun didn't have that school. So they had a win with a smaller. He says, Arkoyis Shebesurya. Anybody hear that? He brings it down. It's not really a Gemara, it's a Medrash or something. And he brings it by Yisrael. Also, there's a different level. It's not Mamash Talmud Torah from the Eibishter, but it's Arkoyis Shebesurya. It means it's not officially the Torah, but it also has a Chshivas by us. They judge Al Pi Seichel. Done is a Shevet of being done, Mishpat. They had a koyach that's not quite the real thing, but it's also good. It's a smaller thing and still has a koyach. So he says, a small little serpent, the skinny, and he also says the chamor, the donkey with the Shimshon Agiba took the cheekbone, the cheek of a donkey, and he smashed up thousands of plishtim. Also to show a little thing we can do. I wanted to say, what do we get out of this? I'll tell you what. What is Shevet Dun is for all of us. Shevet Dun is the time that you didn't pack away and learning the way you're supposed to. You weren't holding by it. You davened without feeling. You davened with a light shvachet tefillah. Don't make away with it. The smallest thing you do can go a long way. I've seen it. I've seen shvachet tefillas, and boom, I had Yeshua's gemuras. You hear that? Without kavanah, without crying, without screaming. I davened for this. I says, hey, I don't have the kaichas to scream at her. People give me names a lot. I feel like crying for many of them. I'm going to scream my head off all day for sugar. I said, Eibishter, please be machshav my small tefillah. That's what I've done. And I wanted to bring a remez, because Shimshon Agiba, who was from Shevet Dun, he took the jawbone of a donkey. That I wanted, a donkey symbolizes gashmias, chamor, chomrius. So he took a gash, not so tired, and the mouth, the tefillah of that nobody, and he wiped that, so that according to the Nitziv, it's a hafladik about. So don't pull yourself down. You can turn over the world with the smallest ruts, and I find myself sometimes without doing anything. Hashem sees I want something. It will happen many, many times. I never expressed myself to the Eibishter that I wanted something. Until I spoke to somebody, I poured my heart out to him. The next day, I got it. And I told myself the Eibishter was eavesdropping. Oh, you spoke it out? Okay, you're getting it. And that's something. Go to the Eibishter, anything you want, and thank him all day long. Have a ball. Keep away from people a little bit. Take a break from your wife, your kids. Talk with the Eibishter. Sit there alone. Say, Eibishter, I love you so much. How does he feel when you tell him I love you? He likes it. I recommend saying this every day. I love you. I love you so much, Eibishter. You're so good. How would you feel if your kid told you, I love you, Ta? That kid's going to get different service. I got this from a family in England. I told them to do this. They had a very serious issue. A very, very, very addiction. The kid was addicted to a cold of a asa. They got him out of it. First of all, I said, I don't believe in addictions. If you believe, when you hear the word addiction, you faint, it's going to stay like that lenetzach. If you say, oh, addiction, not scared of that, shtussim. What addiction? Tomorrow, ice addiction. I'll tell you plenty of stories of people that killed addiction like this. The way you look at it has a big kayach. Anyway, so I told them about this. I told them what to do, a husband and a wife. They had a kid that was Shem Yirachim. I told them, you're going to spend 25 minutes a day praising that boy. Behind his back, I spoke to the boy on the phone. The boy said, he was terribly depressed. I can't stop. I tried so many times to stop. It's impossible, and that's it. He told his parents he's never getting married. He's leaving yeshiva. He's still learning. Leaving yeshiva, is going to go to Gayusha, what? Who knows what? Some college somewhere he's leaving. His mother has no relationship with him. He gets on the phone. Get off, Ma. Had enough of you. She's crying. She's going with sugar. And what do you do with a kid like that? You call Mendel. And Mendel says, I want you and your husband 25 minutes a day to praise that boy behind his back. The husband got into a car. Every time he goes to work, 25 minutes, my son, the tzaddik, the grain, the this. I says, I have 3. I say true things, say exaggerations, and say lies. But only good, no bit. So he did it, she did it. And besides that, what did she do? She said, I love you, Hashem. She goes around all day praising Hashem. And first word, I love you, and thanks for everything and anything. After 3 weeks, approximately, we've got a whole new picture. We don't have parents crying to me on the telephone. That's out. We have cheerful parents. They sound so different after this treatment of positivism. They sound like different people. The boy gets on the phone with his mother, b'simcha tzuma. The boy decided he's getting married, and all his therapists had heart attacks, and we thought that was impossible. He's getting married, he's a new person, and I have felt. What do you say to that? The power of do it to yourself. Build yourself up all day long. I'm this, I'm that, I'm the Rashke Bahag, I'm a Godel, I'm Putzina Kadisha, I'm a Kaddish. Lie, who cares? Better a positive lie than a negative truth. Hear that? Positive lie, the negative truth. It's Kedai, so what? Has to be true? Everything's true? Oh, what are you going to do with Yaakov Avinu Midrash Sheket Terchak? He's Titan Emes Liyaakov. He is Emes, right? Yaakov is stand. That's his whole meat. That's his meat. That's Emes, right? So what did he do? Yaakveni Zeh Pa'amayim. You tricked me twice, sneaky as could be. Introduction to Yaakov Avinu. This is Emes. The Torah is teaching us. You want to know what Emes is? You trick Esav twice. And then, in Parashat Vayishlach, he tells Esav, I see your face, Kurois Panei Elikim. You look like I'm seeing Hashem when I look at you. He meant it or not? That's a shayla. According to Aldous, he didn't mean it. He saw his potential, whatever. No. So I agree and I believe in lying. You lie, that's the emes. To build up people, and the real truth is the takagabald. I don't know. I'm not going to answer that for you. I'm just going to tell you ha'ara. The way the Bali Musa Rabbi Miller once gave me a drasha about somebody, what a great person he was. It wasn't true, B'chlal. Wonderful person! He said it to me. And it all came true. Speak positive about yourself, so you lie. It's true. It'll become true later. If you keep hocking, so-and-so is great. He's going to turn great. I have a lot of stories lately of people turning other people around just by speaking positive. We had enough, no? Film's ready to go? The Elam could leave. I'll talk more. You want to talk? I'll talk till Mashiach. Let me love so. Now, what's Kimadodad? Now, the koyach of b'tachon in Hashem. The koyach of b'tachon in the Meibishter. What I was told about b'tachon. Do you know the Reb Gershon? B'tachon. You want to live long. You want to live happy. You want to live healthy. Give time and koiches in midas ha-b'tachon. I advise you. Sit down and learn Musar on B'tachon before anything. Okay, I'm going to tell you. I spoke for a group of very, very riesige chashiva chabura here in Lakewood, about 60 guys, for the cream of Lakewood. They invited me to speak. I was very big covet for me to speak. These the pearls of Klal Yisrael are sitting there, big masmidim, brilliant. The cream, mamish creams. The Rosh Kodel was sitting over there, and they started asking me about how to learn Musa. I said something, boy, there was I nasty. I said, you want to know what I think about Musa? You do what you want. I'm not changing the world. To me, before learning comes Musa. Before you open that black Gemara, you learn Musa. But if in yeshiva, don't change. Don't listen to Mendel. He's out of his mind. This mess up all my star, make me crazy. Don't listen. Mandel's a nutcase. But for that person who needs to hear what I said, and there's a lot of people out there, they need to hear this. Don't daven shachris until you learn Musa. And which Musa? Positive, helga, sweet Musa that Betes fill your mind up with happy thoughts. How beautiful it is to be alive. Be human. The Siegel, they say he was a Menayel in Chaim Berlin. When someone once sent a son, they want to send a son there, he says, I want my son to become a gain and become a this and that. You know what Siegel told him? I don't know what your son's going to be, but if he comes at his place, he's going to be a happy person. That's a zah. He's going to be tzufrieden. He's going to be satisfied. Sameach b'chalkei. That's no joke. That's far from a joke. That comes before everything and anything. I am happy who I am. You think you become happy so fast. There's 2,000 thoughts circulating in your brain every 2 minutes, proving, he got see the Kedusha, not you. See the way to raise their kids, not you. And see, you can't figure out this thesis. There's millions of voices telling you you're not worth a penny. You have to go to war against that stuff. That's Aleph base. Sit for an hour. In Novhardok, they would sit for 3 hours. Turn yourself around. Rav Nekritz, they say, spent hours. There's Talmud Chacham also. Hours and hours, 3 hours a day, maybe more. Worked. He said to come to myself. He went through all these things. Live with the truth. Stop living with the Gayish world of Kinna, Taiva, COVID. Now you go. Okay, we had some Kinna yesterday. Time for Taiva. Okay, next. COVID. Next. Okay, more Kinna. How about some Kas, some Gaivas? Also good stuff. People love their bad midas, you know. They enjoy. Sit with your covered all your life. You're wasting your life with these depressive thoughts all day long. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. Okay, we're going to tell you Murdik about Yosef HaTzadik went around the Salsa Basara. So the Abishah said, you're Masalsa Basari? When your son's in such a hot, when your father is sitting Avelis because of you, you know, you're going around and you think you're a king already and you're looking so fancy? I'm going to get the bear after you. Eishes Beitifar. And she came after him, and don't think he had an easy time. The Welt doesn't have that story. According to the Malbim, he said, Vayamo'ain means, he said, I don't want. He wanted big time. Malbim says it. Malbim is Kedesh Kedoshim. It should have said, Vaya'ova, means you didn't want. No. He wanted. It's a busha v'achapa, the Yosef HaTzadik. She wanted chicks, black chicks over there, Shem Yirachim. And why was he alone with her? And Rashi says, he went to Lasses and Malachta, he was ready to go. And a Gemara says, they were in the bed together, Yosef HaTzadik! And there's a Chazal say, his fingers, the Zerah came out of his 10 fingers, Yosef HaTzadik, what you do to yourself? He came out, Appa he came out ahead, and he's a symbol of Kedusha for Kaiser. But look what you did. Look what he did to himself. And it's your own fault. You're Masalsal Basare. How do you feel when it's your own fault? It's very depressing. You know, guilt. You got, David gave him the Nisayan as a punishment for being Masalsal Basare. What'd you do that for? What are you looking for trouble for? Why are you looking for trouble? And Yosef didn't care. Yosef didn't look back. Oh, guilt. None of this guilt garbage. You know how many parents suffer? The kid never became modern. Guilt. Stop the guilt. Shtussim. Guilt. Everybody loves guilt. It makes you feel holy. Guilt. I did something wrong. Guilt. No, it's guilt. It's not a good thing what I did. It's my own fault. I caused it. It's me. Well, throw that in the garbage. It's been a shamayim. Your guilt, your fault. It's not your fault. The Eibishter made you make that mistake. That's all it is. Yehuda was pushed with the mice of Toma. You know that? You have to tight yourself. You were pushed. Don't be down yourself the kaf chayv. Mug off. The rest of us say, Be down yourself, l'kamschus. Don't put yourself down, you're crazy. Don't do none of that. I am a tzaddik yesod olam. I do this day and night. Not enough. The more you do that, better a positive lie than a negative truth, says Rabbi Miller. Be down yourself, l'kamschus. Never look down at yourself. Never! Not a second. Make believe it's the Gadol Hador, it's a chutzpah to go against them. That's the way you got to feel about yourself. Now I'll tell you, how did I get this word from? From David Blach's Zatzal. Novandik. He said, Avram Avinu. You know why he got the Ma'is Akeda? It's his own fault. There was a party, Yom Gomel Yitzchak. He wasn't nice to an Arman. So because he wasn't nice to the poor man, you're going to get an Akeda now. It was his own fault. So David Blach Bamek, he still went on. So what? Own fault. I'm going to win. You don't look back ever, ever. My uncle Muttel Katz, he had 10 sons. He lost them all to the Nazis. 2 wives. He was married twice already. And then he was visiting America, and the war broke out. That was the end. And he married my aunt. My aunt told me the story. He was walking the street. His almana was my father's sister. Should be a schus for a holy neshama, Tante Esther, heilige Tante Esther. Should have a big aliyah in Olam Haba. Saying a few words. She was engaged to Muttel Katz himself. They were walking in the street in Brooklyn, and they passed by a trolley car. They had to get, those days there were trolleys. You know those? They were like buses, but there's like whatever. It's like anyway, so they were passing, there were stops with tracks, it was like a like a train sort of. And they were walking, and now they had to get on the trolley. And there was you can go back to this stop or go further for the next stop because they were in the midpoint. So she asked them, which we go, back or forward? So he turns to her, he says, my entire we go only forward. Now she had a history. She was divorced. She had a pecklog. He had his pecklog. They were going to remarry. I go only forward. And he made a rishim on her. Don't look back. They just get caught. I made this mistake, that mistake. Yetzirah. I'm a Muslim. If I made a mistake, it was min hashamayim. I got to tell you a mice. Listen to this. I tell you, Maisa, this happened to me just the other day. It's interesting. Whenever I did something a little bit, I was supposed to be somewhere, I didn't make it, I felt a little sorry about it. I go into B'nai Baruch, and as soon as I come in, somebody tells me about the Eibishter wanted you to make that mistake. Hey, how did you know I needed to hear that? I had told him about. It tells us to me to calm me down. I'm behind all your mistakes. Rav Mordechai Schwab, Zecher Tzadik Levracha, told me this. He was given a shidduch, the greatest tzaddikist he could have gotten, been happy forever. And he said something not so, boom, he messed up. And he was all ice mentioned. He went to Rabbi Rucham. That is there's tumult about how it doesn't stem with history. I don't know who. Maybe it was Reb Chatzkel. I don't know. He went to his Rosh Yeshiva, his Rebbe, and he told him, I messed up with the shidduch. I ruined my life. I could have had. You know what he said? You maybe made a mistake, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted you to make that mistake. And the person who told this to me said, ever since I told him that, it changed his whole life. And he's always repeating it to me. Remember that. You made a mistake. The Eibishter wanted you to make that mistake to marry that witch. Or your wife made a mistake. The real truth is, ladies, all the ladies who are listening, I'm going to stick up for you right now. Just, I'm men here, so I have to behave myself with them. But I want to tell you the real truth. You made the mistake of your life by marrying that Meshuggah. You ladies messed up with these crazy men. I know men, how nutty they are. I'm going to be out of business. I better watch. I'm drinking too much Jack. Got to watch too much Jack. Had enough? Time to go? The element. How many guys are sleeping?